We have some really breaking news for you, and we want to know your opinion. Hey, it's Andre from TFL Truck, and
This is Jay.
Jay is our new producer, of course, and what you manage TFLnow, TFL Podcasts, a lot of things.
And our entire production schedule. So
Yes.
I'm pretty busy.
Yes, but we're here to talk about the latest news that Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, has dropped on us this week.
Yes.
Many of us were traveling. We couldn't get to it, the previous day. But now he says, and this is from a conference that happened this week, that Ford will be switching for electric vehicles only. Ford is switching to direct sales, 100% online sales, and non-negotiable pricing.
Wow, that is huge.
Yes. So it's basically signaling very strongly,
Yes.
I would say, the change in the industry.
Absolutely. It's going to spill over to the other legacy automakers in Detroit, the Asian automakers, the German automakers. If Ford does it, they're all going to have to do the same.
Yes. So here I wanted to show you guys some of the quotes that Mr. Farley gave. Jim Farley right there. These quotes come to us from our friends at Detroit Free Press. So thank you guys.
Hey guys, as you know, it is that time of year, the time of year where we start selling some of our long-term test fleet. And to do that, we've brought our old auction site back from the dead. TFLbids.com is back. And this week we're going to be selling not only our Suburban that we use for the Go Big video series, but also a pretty cool and pretty rare Kia Sorento. First generation, unknown off-roader that will surprise you. So go check out TFLbids.com and get yourself a beautiful Suburban at no reserve or a first generation Sorento. More trucks to come on TFL Bids.
And here's at least one comment or one quote I wanted to show you guys. Here. We've got to go to non-negotiable price. This is once again Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, is speaking. We've got to go to 100% online. There's no inventory at the dealerships, in quotes. It goes directly to the customer and 100% remote pickup and delivery. And then he goes on to say, then we have the opportunity to use our physical presence to outperform competitors. So what do we gain from this?
Well, what I am taking away here is that basically Ford, or under Jim Farley, is tweaking Tesla's business model for its own purposes. It's not going to be exactly the same, but it's taking that concept of online sales only and making it work for Ford.
Yeah, and it's kind of, well, I mean, Tesla has used it for many years.
From the beginning.
Here's a story from March on TFLcar.com, which is one of our websites, of course.
Yes.
Tesla hikes its price, yes, again, this time on all of its vehicles. So actually, no matter if it's non-negotiable price or discounted via dealership or whatever, prices changes actually anytime, right?
Absolutely, and not
Even
everybody
now.
knows about it. You may not even know about it, so you go to the dealer to actually make the purchase. It just happens.
But now, if it's directly with the manufacturer, if you're interfacing with them via their website, you may actually have upfront knowledge of this, right?
Yeah, you'll have more real-time knowledge based on what the final price is going to be. It's updated all the time.
Yeah, but I think, so this is huge. There was a conference, kind of industry leaders were getting together. And so let's rewind the clock a little bit. So Ford split its business in several divisions, right?
Yeah, just a few months ago.
Yeah. So there's Ford Blue, which is traditional internal combustion vehicles, right? Ford Pro.
Yes.
It's their commercial business.
Exactly.
And Ford Model E.
With a lowercase e.
Lowercase e.
Yes.
Okay, so what is this about?
Basically, Ford is preparing for the future. It realizes that obviously electric vehicles, all electric vehicles like the Mustang Mach-E right here, are the future. And it's laying the groundwork for that future right now by doing that split. And it's important to reiterate that the online sale model only is going to be for EVs.
Yes, this is specifically for
Exactly.
EV. But in the future, most automakers said that up to 100% of their vehicles will be all electric in 2030.
Exactly.
Maybe a little bit beyond that. Right?
Again, they're laying the groundwork for that right now.
So we're still about, 8 years away in some cases, maybe more.
Around a decade.
But still, the wind is blowing this way, and now it's a really strong wind.
Yeah.
I would say.
Very.
So is it good for the customer? Here's what I wanted to ask, and let us know.
Yes.
So I would say yes.
I agree.
Let's say, so Ford.
Let's talk about this. Yes, why?
Ford is saying the vehicle, so I can purchase online, I can select what I want, right? Let's say
all the features.
It's built.
Yep.
I'm not sure exactly how long it's going to be built, in the future, how long that will take. Let's say it's an acceptable amount of time.
Okay.
And then it gets delivered to my door. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, you don't have to step foot in a delership if you don't want to.
You don't have to leave, right? It's
you don't have to leave your house.
Right. It's delivered to you. You have a new vehicle that you pre-ordered, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what happens to the dealers? I mean, they must be worried, and that's why.
Yes.
That's why I highlighted this too, because Jim Farley said we have an opportunity to use our physical presence, but he didn't quite say dealerships.
No.
But here's how I'm reading this.
Okay.
And let's see if you agree.
All right.
I'm reading this as Ford has over 3,000 dealership, which is actually franchise, right? Stores.
That's the law. They have to be.
Yeah, exactly. So they're owned by different companies, not Ford.
Nope.
Of course, Ford and the dealerships have relationships, and they're been built over the last century.
Yeah, we're talking 100 years
Yes.
of a certain business model.
Yeah.
That is suddenly going to be changing.
But they have over 3,000 of these franchises, right?
Yes.
So that's a large physical presence. So how are they going to leverage it? Well, we have a couple of clues, right?
Yes, we do.
So one of the clues was Jim Farley mentioned that if you want an F-150 Lightning for a weekend, maybe one way to get
a
it,
subscription service or something like that.
go
You can
to a
rent
dealer and maybe rent it from a dealer.
Absolutely, that's one possibility. He didn't go into any specifics.
No, not very
but
specifically.
he did mention, like, say, if you do need an F-150, he didn't say Lightning, he just said F-150, but I think it's
maybe
fair to
implying.
assume, that it is like an F-150 Lightning for the weekend. That's one way to use the dealership network.
Yes, because I think it's their strength right now, especially for maintenance and services,
without
maybe
question.
and the rest of it. Because if you're a business like Ford Pro is going to be supporting their businesses, right?
Yeah.
If you have any issue, you want to have it addressed quickly, and the more stores you have, well, we have a U.S. map right there. The more stores you have in the country, the quicker you can get service.
Right, exactly. And when he means competitors, I personally think he's referring to Tesla, because yes, Tesla has service centers. Clearly, they have a lot of them. They're growing them, but not as many as Ford,
And some others,
and other legacy automakers, or the experience. That's the thing. Like, Ford understands the dealership business model because they helped build it a century ago.
Yeah, exactly. So that's definitely an advantage for Ford
Without
and
question.
maybe GM and some others. He calls out a couple more things. Jim Farley called out shared vehicle services like Lyft and Uber, and he said building vehicles specifically for that use case.
That's interesting.
It's kind of already happening, isn't it?
Right. I believe GM already has some sort of a deal or agreement with Lyft. Something
Yeah,
like that
and
for Lyft drivers to get a
there's different
discount on a
companies like
lease.
Waymo that's building
Yep.
or semi-autonomous or autonomous vehicles, right? Specifically for rideshare. And Ford is looking to, I guess, invest into this space as well.
It makes sense.
Which is great. Then he also mentions consolidation.
That's very interesting.
In the industry. and here's some of the comments there. Jim Farley was saying that consolidation will have to happen. So maybe smaller automakers coming together, sharing, like Stellantis, for example.
Right.
It's a combination of many different brands.
It's now the world's fourth largest automaker, actually.
So he says, quote, old automakers absolutely will get consolidated. There will be some big winners, some people that transition, some won't. Many of the small players cannot afford to make this transition.
He's right.
Which transition is he talking about?
I
Like
think
the electrification
it's not just
transition?
electrification, it's to this new business model.
that he's mentioning
Exactly.
here. The direct
That he
business
just-
model.
Jim Farley is just looking ahead, not just a decade, but for the next, say, 30 years of how America is going to buy and sell cars and
Yeah.
get around. And smaller brands, I'm thinking Mitsubishi,
Maybe Mazda.
maybe Mazda, maybe even Subaru,
Yeah.
are going to have to consolidate. Now, fortunately, Mitsubishi already has a relationship with Nissan, both Mazda and Subaru with Toyota. So I think something within those parameters are going to work out.
Yeah, and maybe that's the beginning of a consolidation already.
I don't think
Because-
they're going to like close their doors entirely.
No.
But
Or just kind of gain strength and come
Right,
together,
absolutely,
right?
yeah.
For example, Toyota worked with BMW on the Supra. I mean,
Yeah.
there's many different things happening here.
Right, they're
Now, VW is working with Ford on their electrification strategy and
Exactly.
also on their pickup trucks.
exactly like Ford in Europe. They're getting access to VW's MEB platform.
Yes. So we're already seeing this.
Exactly. It's just
already-
going to continue and keep growing, and that's really it.
It's already happening.
Yeah.
But dude, yeah, I just wanted to get this out to you guys and get your opinions because this could really disrupt the way we maintain our vehicles, the way we buy them.
Exactly.
Is it good or bad? I'm thinking it's maybe good for the customer,
I think it's very good for the
for
customer.
us, but
Yes.
there'll be some huge changes.
Yeah, and what's going to be really interesting, another quote Farley mentioned was, it's going to be, quote, brutal, his exact word, for dealerships.
Yes.
Now, I can imagine a lot of Ford dealerships within the first 24 hours of hearing this are a little,
Slightly concerned,
maybe-
worried.
they want to know more.
Yeah,
I think that's it. Like, they want to have details, like, what does this mean for the future of their franchises?
Yeah, and here's what I would propose, and I think I actually mentioned it maybe in some podcasts in the past. I think there should be more emphasis on accessories.
Oh, yeah.
Vehicle accessories, and I think that's where dealership stores can really get some new traction. Because right now, when I walk into most dealers, it's just a couple of vehicles sitting in the showroom, right? And maybe accessories are kind of in the back somewhere on the
Right.
back wall. But everybody wants to accessorize their pickup trucks, get new wheels, tires,
name
grills, hitch accessories, towing accessories, roof racks, bed racks. So,
It's an endless list of stuff.
yeah,
there.
like
right.
like look at Mopar and Jeep Performance Parts.
I was just going to mention Mopar.
right? Lift
there.
kits,
Exactly.
and all this stuff.
And
So
it's all OEM approved. It's
all
very
works
easy.
together.
Exactly.
Yeah. So maybe this is where the model is going, which I hope so.
That would be great if it did.
Yeah. So let us know what you think, and as always, alltfl.com, right?
Absolutely.
alltfl.com is where you'll find all the news right away.